A very good morning, students. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great. Today we are going to study chapter 9. Name of the chapter is Holy. This is from your supplementary book, that is Footprints Without Feet, class 10th. This is written by A.K. Abbas. Students, first of all, let us see the brief introduction of this chapter. Bholi is a story written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. Means she was not beautiful. She is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where Bholi has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match, but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. The story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice. Let us see the explanation of this chapter. Her name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Bholi, the simpleton. She was the fourth daughter of Nambardar Ramlal. When she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the coat on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of the brain. That was why she remained a backward child and came to be known as Bholi, the simpleton. Caught means bad, backward means slow learner. The narrator describes a girl whose name was Sulekha. She was the fourth daughter of the Nambardar Ramlal. Sulekha was called Bholi since her childhood. She was called so for being a simpleton means simple and a slow learner. All this happened because she had fallen on her head from a narrow bed when she was only 10 months old. This had led to damage of some part of her brain, making her a slow learner. At birth, the child was very fair and pretty, but when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. Only the eyes were saved, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep black pock marks. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5, and when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. As a result, she talked very little. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. It was a prosperous farmer's household, and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. The sons had been sent to the cities to study in schools and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married. The second daughter, Mangla's marriage, had also been settled. And when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third, Champa. They were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. But Ramlal was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. Prosperous means rich, plenty, a lot of. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. Bholi was his youngest child. Ramlal was a rich farmer. He provided the family with good food. All the children were healthy and strong except Bholi. His sons were sent to the city to study at the school and colleges. Radha was his eldest daughter who was married. Mangla's marriage had been fixed and now it was Champa, the third daughter's turn. As all of them were healthy and beautiful girls, it was not tough to marry them off. The main concern for Ramlal was Bholi because neither was she beautiful nor intelligent. It was not an easy task to find a bridegroom for her. Bholi was 7 years old when Mangla was married. The same year, a primary school for girls was opened in the village. The Tehsildar Sahib came to perform its opening ceremony. He said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village, and so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters to school. Tehsildar is a district collector. Representative means spokesperson. Bholi was 7 years old when her elder sister Mangla get married. That year, a primary school for girls was opened in the village. The Tehsildar visited to inaugurate it. He asked Ramlal to send his daughters to school. He encouraged him to do so because, as he was the revenue official, his act of sending his daughters to school would serve as an example for the villagers. This would lead to the education of girls in the village. That night, when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If girl go to school, who will marry him?" But Ramlal hadn't the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. At last his wife said, "I will tell you what to do. Send Bholi to school as it is. There is little chance for her getting married. With her ugly face and lack of sense, let the teachers at school worry about her." Consulted means discussed. After hearing the Tehsildar, Ramlal discussed the matter with his wife. She at once rejected it by saying that it would become difficult for them to marry their educated daughters. Ramlal was now double minded as he did not want to disobey the Tehsildar, and on the other hand, his wife was also right. Finally, his wife suggested to send Bholi to school because, anyways, there were negligible chances for her to get married. The next day, Ramlal caught Bholi by the hand and said, "Come by me. I will take you to school." Bholi was frightened. She did not know what a school was like. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house and sold. "No, no, 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 no," she shouted in terror and pulled her hand away from her father's grip. The next morning, Ramlal took Bholi to school. Bholi was afraid of going to school as she was not aware of what school was. Bholi was reminded that a few years ago their cow Lakshmi had been sent out of the home and her father got money in return for it. She thought that she too would be sold like Lakshmi and so pulled her hand away from her father's hand. "What is the matter with you, you fool?" shouted Ramlal. "I am only taking you to school." Then he told his wife, "Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her?" New clothes had never been made for Bholi. The old dresses of her sisters were passed on to her. No one cared to mend or wash her clothes, but today she was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk after many washings and no longer fitted Champa. She was even bathed and oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair. Only then did she begin to believe that she was being taken to a place better than her home. Shrunk means reduced, Shikurdana. Matted means untidy, Gande. Bholi's father got irritated with her behavior and shouted that he was taking her to school. He then told his wife to dress her up because he didn't want others to think ill of them. So it was for the first time that Bholi got clean clothes to wear. Although it was her elder sister Champa's worn out dress, she was bathed and her messy hair was washed and oiled. Such a treatment made her believe that she was going to some better place than her home. When they reached the school, the children were already in their classrooms. Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. Left alone, the poor girl looked about her with fear-laden eyes. There were several rooms, and in each room, girls like her squatted on mats, reading from books or writing on slates. The headmistress asked Bholi to sit down in a corner in one of the classrooms. Fear laden means full of fear. Squatted means to sit with one's knees bent. Upon reaching home, they found that children were already in their classrooms. Ramlal handed Bholi to the headmistress and left the place. Bholi's eyes were full of fear because it was the first time that she had gone out of the house. There were a number of classrooms with many students in each one. They were sitting on the mats and were reading or writing. Bholi was taken to a classroom and was ordered to sit there by the headmistress. Bholi did not know what exactly a school was like and what happened there, but she was glad to find so many girls almost of her own age present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. Bholi was not aware of anything about school. What made her happy was that there were so many girls of her age. She thought that she may find a friend among these girls. The lady teacher who was in the class was saying something to the girls, but Bholi could understand nothing. She looked at the pictures on the wall. The colors fascinated her. The horse was brown, just like the horse on which the Tehsildar had come to visit their village. The coat was black, like the goat of their neighbor. The parrot was green, like the parrot she had seen in the mango orchard. And the cow was just like their Lakshmi. And suddenly Bholi noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. What's your name, little one? Fascinated means attracted. Orchard means land planted with fruit trees. In the class, the lady teacher was teaching something, but Bholi could not understand it. She was just looking at the various pictures on the wall which were beautiful. Bholi was attracted towards them. There was a picture of a brown horse that resembled the horse on which the Tehsildar had visited their village. There were also a picture of a green parrot which looked like the same parrot that she had seen in the mango orchard. Orchard is a land planted with mango fruit trees. There was also an image of a cow that resembled their own cow Lakshmi. While she was busy looking at the picture, she realized that the teacher was standing near her. She asked Bholi her name. Bholi. She could stammer no further than that. Then she began to cry and tears flowed from her eyes in a helpless flood. She kept her head down as she sat in her corner, not daring to look up at the girls who she knew were still laughing at her. When the school bell rang, all the girls scurried out of the classroom, but Bholi dared not leave her corner. Her head still lowered, she kept on sobbing. Bholi, the teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. Stammer means fumble for words. रुक रुक कर बोलना. Sobbing means noisy crying. Bholi tried hard but stammered and could only say bho bho. After this, she began to cry and did not dare to look up as she was sure that all the other girls would be laughing at her. When school was over, the teacher came to Bholi and called her by her name. Bholi was still crying with her head down. The teacher's voice was very soft, and Bholi had never been addressed with such affection before. She felt so good that it touched her heart. Get up, said the teacher. It was not a command, but just a friendly suggestion. Bholi got up. Now tell me your name. Sweat broke out over her whole body. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? For the sake of this kind woman, however, she decided to make an effort. She had such a soothing voice, she would not laugh at her. Bo. She began to stammer. Well done, the teacher encouraged her. Come on, now the full name. Bholi. At last she was able to say it and felt relieved as if it was a great achievement. Well done, the teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. Polly looked up as if to ask, really? Soothing means reduce pain or discomfort. Disgrace means dishonor, shame. The teacher tried to make her comfortable by her friendly manner. She asked her name again. Though Bholi was hesitant and nervous, she tried and was able to speak her full name. The teacher praised her for her attempt and said that if she shunned fear, she would be able to speak clearly. Bholi was surprised to hear that she could speak clearly. Yes, yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Bholi nodded. No, say it aloud. Yes. And Bholi herself was astonished that she had been able to say it. Didn't I tell you? Now take this book. The book was full of nice pictures, and the pictures were in the color dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot, tiger, and a cow just like Lakshmi. And with every picture was a word in big black letters. Nodded means bow your head in a direction to give your approval. Astonished means impressed, greatly surprised. The teacher at once understood her curiosity and said that what she had said was true and that she came to school every day. She would be able to speak without any problem. Then she inquired if Bholi would come to school the next day. Bholi gave her approval by moving her head in up and down direction. The teacher prompted her to speak it loudly. This encouraged Bholi and she spoke yes clearly. She was surprised at her ability to speak clearly. The teacher again praised her and gave her a book full of pictures and of dog, cat, goat, etc. with an alphabet written in big size along with every picture. In 1 month, you will be able to read this book. Then I will give you a bigger book, then a still bigger one. In times, you will be more learned than anyone else in the village. Then no one will ever be able to laugh at you. People will listen to you with respect and you will be able to speak without the slightest tremor. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow morning. The teacher said that when Bholi would complete that book, she would be given a bigger book and after that a still bigger book. She also told that one day she would become an educated person in the village and people would respect her because of her knowledge and wisdom. Not only this, she would be able to speak clearly. With this, she asked her to come to school early in the morning. Bholi felt as if suddenly all the bells in the village temple were ringing, and the trees in front of the schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing with a new hope and a new life. Thus, the years passed, the village became a small town, the little primary school became a high school, there were now a cinema under a tin shed, and a cotton grinding mill. The mail train began to stop at the railway station. Blossomed means grow, bloom. Throbbed means beat, pulse. Ginning means the process of treating the cotton. Means ginning the cotton. Cotton ki katai. Bholi was very happy. Her heart felt a rare type of happiness and she imagined that she could hear the bells at the temple ringing and imagined that the trees outside the school had red colored flowers on them. She felt a sudden beat in her heart and made her full of hope and happiness. Years passed and the village grew into a small town. Her primary school was now a high school. There was a cinema under a tin shed and a cotton grinding mill opened in her town. Even the mail train started to stop at the village railway station. One night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife, then shall I accept Bishambar's proposal? Yes, certainly, his wife said. Bholi will be lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom. A big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousand in the bank. Moreover, she is not asking for any dowry. That's right. But he is not so young. You know, almost the same age as I am. And he also limps. Moreover, the children from his first wife were quite grown up. Proposal means offer. Certainly means definitely. One night, Ramlal was discussing with his wife that he had got a marriage proposal for Bholi. He asked his wife whether to accept Bishambar's proposal or not. To this, his wife replied that they should definitely accept the proposal because it was suitable for Bholi. She supported her view by saying that Bishambar had a big shop, on house, and cash deposited in the bank. Also, he was not asking for dowry. Ramlal was a bit unsure because Bishambar was of his own age and was handicapped too. He also had grown up children from his first marriage. So, what does it matter? His wife replied, 45 or 50. It is no great age for man. We are lucky that he is from another village and doesn't know about her pockmarks and her lack of sense. If we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all her life. Yes, but I wonder what Bholi will say. What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow. Maybe you are right, muttered Ramlal. In the other corner of the courtyard, Bholi lay awake on her cot, listening to her parents' whispered conversation. Poke marks, blemishes, means nishan. Witless means fool, Bewkoof. Muttered means murmur, Barbarana. His wife said that there was no harm in it if there was a big age gap between Bholi and the groom. She said that they could not find any other match for Bholi. She also said that as he was from another village, he may not know about Bholi's mental condition and her ugly face. Ramlal said that he was worried that how Bholi would react to it. But her mother replied that Bholi was like a dumb cow and would not say anything. Bholi was lying in her bed nearby and listening to her parents' conversation. Bishambarnath was a well-to-do grocer. Bishambarnath was a well-to-do grocer. He came with a big party of friends and relations with him for the wedding. A brass band playing a popular tune from an Indian film headed the procession. With the bridegroom riding a decorated horse, Ramlal was overjoyed to see such pomp and splendor. He had never dreamed that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Bholi's elder sisters, who had come for the occasion, were envious of her luck. Grocer means a person who sells household goods and food items. Procession means march parade. Splendor means lavishness. Envious means jealous. The bridegroom, Bishambarnath, was a rich man. He had a grocery shop where he used to sell foods items and household goods. He had a good business. On the wedding day, he came with his friends and family. They were accompanied by a brass band which was playing a popular tunes from Hindi movies. The bridegroom was riding a decorated horse. Ramlal was very happy to see all this. He had never dreamed of such a grand wedding for his fourth daughter. Bholi's elder sister felt jealous of her good luck. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, "Bring the bride." Bholi, clad in a red silken bridal dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. Garland the bride, one of his friends, prompted Bishambarnath. The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. A woman slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. Bishambar took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. "Have you seen her?" said. Auspicious means good, favorable. Clad means dressed. Garland, wreath of flowers and leaves, means mala, heart. Veil means cover. Poised means calm. On the wedding day, Bholi was brought for the wedding rituals. She was dressed in a red silk sari. When she reached, one of Bishambar's friends asked him to garland the bride. As he was about to put the garland around her neck, a woman removed the veil that covered her face. He saw the blemishes on her face, means pockmarks on her face, and at once objected to the marks on the bride face. "Have you seen her?" said Bishambar to the friend next to him. She has poke marks on her face. So what? You are not young either. Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. Her friend, when Bisambar objected to the marks on the bride's face, his friend answered that he should ignore this as he himself was not young to marry a young girl like her. Bisambar told Ramlal that he wanted 5,000 rupees in return for marrying an ugly woman like Polly. Ra- Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bisambar's feet. Do not humiliate me, so take 2,000 rupees. No, 5,000 or we go back. Keep your daughter. Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village. Then out with 5,000 rupees. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe, and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. On Bisambar's greedy face appeared a triumph smile. He had gambled and won. Give me the garland, he announced. Humiliate means insult. Considerate means thoughtful. Streaming means flowing. Triumph means winning. Gambled means bet. On hearing the bridegroom's demand, Ramlal got so upset that he went to him and kept his turban at his feet. He requested him to be considerate and requested him to accept 2,000 rupees instead of 5,000 as dowry. Bishambar was firm and said that he could keep his daughter at home. Then Ramlal requested him not to do all this as it would ruin his pride in front of the whole village. But Bishambar was adamant on his demand of 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went inside and brought 5,000 rupees from the safe, counted the money and handed it over to Bishambar. Now the bridegroom was happy because he had won the bet. He asked for the garland. He was ready for the marriage. Once again, the veil was slipped back from the bride's face. But this time her eyes were not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband. In her eyes, there was neither anger nor hate, but cold contempt. Bishambar raised the garland to place it round the bride's neck, but before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning and the garland was flung into the fire. She got up and threw away the veil. Downcast means low, cast down. Prospective means would be, होने वाला. Contempt means hate, disregard. Struck means hit, bang, टकराना. Flung means aim, launch, फेंक देना. Boli removed the cover of her face and stared at Bisambar. Her eyes were full of disrespect for him. There was no anger, no hatred in her eyes. As Bisambar was about to garland her, she struck her hand at the garland as quick as a streak of lightning. The garland flew and fell into the sacred fire. She flew away her veil too. Pitaji, said Bholi in a clear, loud voice. And her father, mother, sister, brothers, relations, and neighbors were startled to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. Pitaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man. Ramlal was thunderstruck. The guest began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly, and so shameless. Boli, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family? Have some regard for your izzat. For the sake of your izzat, said Boli, I was willing to marry this lame old man, but I will not have such a mean, greedy, and contemptible coward as my husband. I won't. Startled means sudden shock. Thunderstruck means shocked. Contemptible means offensive. Bholi addressed her father by saying, Pitaji. Her voice was clear and she spoke without stammering. Her family was shocked to see this. She continued and said that her father should take back his money and she would not marry this man. Ramlal was shocked to hear all this. Even the relatives started whispering that the girl was shameless as she was refusing to the marriage. Ramlal grew angry and shouted at Bholi that she had gone mad because such an act of her could bring disgrace to her family. Bholi replied that it was for the sake of her family's honor that she had consented to marry the lame old man, but she was not ready to marry a greedy coward. What a shameless girl! We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Bholi turned violently on the old woman. Yes, auntie, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb driven cow. That's why you wanted to hand me over to this heartless creature. But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more? Bishambarnath, the grocer, started to go back with his party. The confused bandsmen thought this was the end of the ceremony and struck up a closing song. Violently means strong or extreme manner. Dumb means dull. Heartless means unkind. An old woman commented that Bholi was a shameless girl, though they all thought that she was a dull and innocent girl. Bholi looked at her with extreme anger and said that everyone thought that she was a fool and that is why they wanted to marry her off to an unkind man. They called her shameless because she could take a stand for herself. Bishambarnath and his friends and family started to return. The bandsmen were not sure of what was happening. They thought that the marriage ceremony had completed and so they started playing the music related to the ending of a wedding ceremony. Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died down. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and said, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" And Sulekha said in a glare that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learned so much. Isn't that right, ma'am?" The teacher had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. "Yes, Bholi, of course," she replied, and in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. Rooted means fixed. Grief means sorrow. Steady means firm. Contemplating view means view. Contemplating means viewing or observing. Ramlal was in deep sorrow. He was feeling ashamed. The flames of this sacred fire died after some time and the guests too went away. He then asked Bholi that what would be her future now and who would marry her. Bholi replied that she would take care of both her parents and would teach in the same school that had made her learn so much. She sought approval from her teacher who was quietly watching all the drama. She approved Bholi's statement. She was deeply satisfied with Bholi's response to the whole situation. It was similar to the way an artist feels when he sees his masterpiece once it is complete. So students, this is all, and there is a moral lesson in this chapter that we should know, not be dumb at the, and we should take stand when anything is going to wrong with us. This is all. I hope you all have understood. Thank you for watching the video.